Hello students, today we shall be discussing elimination reaction, that is the next category of reaction of haloalkanes. So what is the criteria for this reaction? The minimum criteria for this reaction is a haloalkane which must have a beta hydrogen. Now what do you understand by the term beta hydrogen? You see, alright, let's take this example. You see the carbon which bears the functional group, it may be an halogen or anything else. This carbon is called alpha carbon. The carbon next to it is called beta carbon, and the beta carbon must have hydrogen attached to it. Such a system is called compound having beta hydrogen. So when haloalkanes having a beta hydrogen is treated with alcoholic KOH, you must remember the reagent, because earlier also you have seen in nucleophilic substitution reaction we have taken aqueous KOH, but here it has to be alcoholic KOH. So a molecule of halo acid HX will be lost, leading to the formation of alkene. If you remember last time when we discussed preparation of alkene, we have done this reaction. Now in case if you have two or more possible beta hydrogens, then the major product will be governed by Sage-Zeff rule. Now what is Sage-Zeff rule? You can check class 11. Sage-Zeff rule says the major alkene will be the product where we have more alkyl group. We'll talk about this in the following example. You see, I have taken a haloalkane. I have not put all the groups. You can see the carbon which contains the halogen is called alpha carbon. I have labeled it as alpha carbon, and the carbon which has the next carbon is called beta carbon, and I have shown there is a beta hydrogen here. Now when you treat it with alcoholic KOH followed by heating, then the molecule of HX from here will be lost. Now the moment H and X is lost from here, this bond and this bond of carbon become free and they hold each other's hand. I mean they combine each other to form a pi bond, and that's how we get an alkene. So let us talk about this example. You see here I have taken bromoethane. Bromo, this is the carbon which is alpha. This is the carbon, this is beta carbon, and there are three hydrogens here. You may choose any of the hydrogens. So from here HBr is lost. You can take either alcoholic NaOH or KOH, and the product formed is an alkene. Here we had two carbons in the starting material. The product is also having two carbons. So bromoethane gives you ethene. Now let us talk about the Sage-Zeff rule. To understand this Sage-Zeff rule, we have taken the example number 2. Check here. This example, what we have taken 2 bromobutane. 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons here, and in the 2 position we have a bromine. So name of this is 2-bromobutane. Now in this 2-bromobutane, you can see the carbon which bears the halogen is the alpha carbon, and on right and left there are 2 beta positions, and both the beta carbons, they have hydrogens attached to it. Now depending on which beta hydrogen we remove, there are 2 possible products. You can see I have drawn here one solid line, and here I have drawn one dotted line, and here also I have put one solid box and I have put one dotted box. So the dotted product corresponds to this dotted box, and the solid box represents this product. So what we get, you look here, if Br is from position 2 and AH from position 3 are lost, then a double bond will be formed here. So that's how a double bond has formed here. So what we have, CH3 here, CH, then a double bond is formed between 2 and 3. So we have a double bond between carbon 2 and carbon 3, and lastly we have a CH3. So name of this compound is but2-ene. On the other hand, if beta hydrogen from position 1 is lost, which is shown by this dotted line, then the double bond will be formed between carbon 1 and carbon 2, and the product formed will be but1-ene. Now the question arises, which product is going to be the major product? You look here, if you check these two carbon. Look at the unsaturated carbon. So this carbon out here has a CH3 group attached and one H. And here also one CH3 group and one H. So ultimately how many alkyl group and how many hydrogens we have? We have two alkyl groups and two hydrogens attached to the carbon-carbon double bond. Whereas here if you look at these two unsaturated carbon, what do you have here? One alkyl group, okay, alkyl group represented by R, and one hydrogen, and on the other side I have two hydrogens. So altogether I have three hydrogens. So where do I have more alkyl group? Definitely in structure 1, that is but2ene has more alkyl group. Here one alkyl and here two alkyl. So according to Saytzeff rule, wherever you have more alkyl group attached to the carbon-carbon double bond, that is going to be the major product. As a result, but2ene will be the major product. So when elimination reaction will be asked, you need to be careful and identify which product is going to be the major product, because quite often in the exams they ask you to write the major product only. Now to understand this, we have taken exercise question 10.10, rather 10.10. Now they have asked you to predict the major product and they have given you the starting material. Now the starting material is 1 bromo, 1 methyl cyclohexane. So we have drawn a cyclohexane ring. Alright. In one position we have put a bromo group, as you can see here. At one position we have a methyl group here, and remember cyclohexane, it is not benzene, okay, so there won't be any double bond inside the ring. Now identify the beta hydrogens. The carbon bearing this halogen is alpha and on both sides of this is beta. Let me see if I can enlarge it. Yes. So you can see here, this is beta carbon, this is also beta carbon. So here if I remove HBr from here, we get a double bond here. And if I remove HBr from here, then we get a double bond here. So depending on that, I have drawn two structures. You can see here, the double bond is formed here and double bond is formed here. Now which product is going to be the major product? Let us count. Let us count the number of alkyl groups. We need to concentrate on these two carbons. So this carbon is having a CH3 group, considered an alkyl group. This is also attached to another carbon. So there are two carbons here. And this is again attached to another carbon. So altogether I have three alkyl groups. And here at this corner we have one hydrogen to satisfy the valency of carbon. Whereas when I look here, look at this two carbon. So this carbon is having two hydrogens. So two hydrogens and two alkyl groups. So where do I have more alkyl group? Here if you remember, we had three alkyl group and one hydrogen. So in the first case we have three alkyl group, in the second case we have two alkyl groups. So according to Saytzeff rule, this is going to be the major product. So that's how in the elimination reaction you have to predict. There are some more examples in the same question. To predict the eliminated product for 2-chloro 2-methyl butane. So you can see here 2-chloro 2-methyl butane. So the structure is, since butane is the word root, we have written 4 carbon in the longest chain. You can label it 1, 2, 3, 4. In the 2 position we have a chloro, and in the 2 position itself we have a methyl. Now how many beta hydrogens do I have here? You see one beta carbon, 2 beta carbon and 3 beta carbons. Now these two are equivalent. Alright, these two are equivalent because both are CH3. So you can show loss of hydrogen from any of these two beta hydrogens to get one product, and from carbon 3 this will give you one. When you take away HCl from here, you will get a double bond here, so that will be one product. And if you take away HCl from here, then you will get a double bond here, this will be another product. Now which product is going to be the major product? So you look here, let us concentrate on these two carbon. What do I have here? This carbon is attached to one carbon, two carbons. So here I have two carbons or two alkyl groups, and this is attached to two hydrogens. So I have two alkyl groups and two hydrogens. Look here, second one. This carbon and this carbon we need to look at. This carbon is attached to one carbon and one hydrogen, and this carbon is attached to two carbons. So altogether we have three carbon and one hydrogen. So here I have more carbon, and that is how this is the major product. There is one more question in the exercise. You can try it out exactly the same way. So I have given you, try question number 3. Question number 10.10 part 3. There is a small note in your textbook. Read elimination versus substitution. In my textbook it is page 301. In your textbook you please look for the page number. How would you know during exams whether elimination product is going to be the, like when the elimination product will be formed and when substituted product will be formed? You go through this. If you have any doubts, you will ask me. The last reaction is reaction with metal. The first reaction under this category is Wood's reaction, that is reaction with sodium. If you remember, this reaction we have done while preparation of alkane. This is a very important reaction. Okay, this is a very important reaction. So what happens in Wood's reaction? When haloalkane is treated with sodium in dry ether, all these reactions you have to remember. This is the reagent, this is the starting material, this is the reagent, and this is the solvent. Okay, dry ether is the solvent. So when haloalkane is treated with sodium in dry ether, we get an alkane having double the number of carbon as in the haloalkane. So that is the speciality of Wood's reaction. So this will always give you an alkane having a symmetrical number, even number of carbon. You will never be able to prepare methane, propane, which is having 3 carbon, which is an odd number. You will not be able to prepare pentane, which is having 5 carbon. It will always give you an alkane, symmetrical alkane. That means you can see this can be divided into 2 equal parts. So this reaction is called Wood's reaction. The alkene formed is symmetrical. Alkene with odd number of carbon cannot be prepared by this method. To get odd number of carbon, you have to take 2 dissimilar haloalkanes, and you will get lot of many other products together with the alkene of your choice. Okay, so that is why it is not wise to prepare unsymmetrical alkanes by Wood's reaction. The next reaction is, okay, we have taken an example. You can check here. You see, I have taken chloromethane. Methane has 1 carbon. Chloromethane has 1 carbon. But the product which we get is ethane, which is having 2 carbon. When we treat it with sodium, I have not written here dry ether. Over the arrow you may write DE. DE is, of course, during exam you are not supposed to write. During exam you please write dry ether. Then here you see the haloalkane I have chosen is having 3 carbons and the product is having 6. But note here, the 6 carbons are not in a chain, but the alkane which has formed, that is symmetrical. You can divide it into 2 equal parts. That has to be there. Only even number will not do. It has to be symmetrical. Okay. Next is reaction with magnesium. So when haloalkane react with magnesium, it forms a very important class of compound called Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent is a very important class of compound. If you take up your higher studies in chemistry, you will have a full chapter on Grignard reagent. Okay. Now, the speciality of this reaction is, you see, in the haloalkane, the alkyl group bears a partial positive charge and the halogen bears a partial negative charge. But when it reacts with magnesium, the magnesium comes in between R and X and it forms RMgX. Now, as you know, R means a group containing carbon. Now, out of carbon and magnesium, definitely magnesium is more electropositive. So, magnesium develops partial positive charges, whereas alkyl group contains negative charge. So, the speciality is electrophilic alkyl group turns to a nucleophilic alkyl group by converting it to Grignard reagent. And that is why Grignard reagent play a very important role in doing nucleophilic reactions. So here I have already mentioned a partially positive alkyl group, that is electrophile, to a partially negative alkyl group. changes. Okay, in presence of highly electropositive magnesium, carbon develop a negative charge. Grignard reagent helps to increase the number of carbon in many reactions. We call them step-up reactions. In the due course, you will find how Grignard reagent will help you in increasing the number of carbon in the carbon chain. Care must be taken. This question is in the exercise question. Okay, care must be taken that the dry ether which we take is totally dry. There should not be a small molecule of water also. Now, why is it so? Why do you avoid water when you prepare Grignard reagent? You see, if you have water in Grignard reagent, as you can see here, I have written RMGX, which is Grignard reagent, and I have taken water here. Immediately water, R minus will take up the H from water. As you know, H has plus and minus. It will take up, R being minus, it will take up the H and it will get converted to alkane. Okay, and the byproduct formed will be magnesium together with a halogen and OH group. So byproduct is not so important here. So this question is very often asked. Okay, why Grignard reagent reactions should be done in purely anhydrous conditions. Now there may be questions asked, how do you convert? Okay, how do you convert chloromethane to ethane, or chloromethane to methane? You note here, both are alkanes. Starting material is haloalkane, but the products are both alkane. But in what way they are different? Here you see the alkane which is formed is having double the number of carbon than the starting material. In the starting material we have 1 carbon, but in the product I have 2. So that is a clear indication that you have to go for Wurtz reaction. Whereas in the second product you can see the number of carbons are same. That means you have to go for Grignard reagent formation followed by hydrolysis. That means treatment with water. So how would you do these conversions? First one is simple. You simply do Wurtz reaction with sodium in dry ether and you get ethane. And for getting methane, you have to do 2 steps. You first convert haloalkane chloromethane by treating with magnesium to Grignard reagent. Name of this Grignard reagent will be methyl magnesium chloride. Then you do the hydrolysis and you get methane. It's a very important set of reaction with Grignard reagent. Okay. So with this we come to the end of reactions of haloalkane. The next topic will be reaction of haloarenes. So we stop the video here.